Hello, everybody. Okay. So let's set the scene. Some time ago, I was a 15-year-old high school student living in Prince George's County, Maryland, who wanted the one thing that every teenage boy at that time wanted: a shiny new Nintendo DS with the matching Pokemon game. And so when I went to ask my mother kindly for it, like any poor teenager would, she kindly responded to me, "Boy, does it look like I got $150 lying right here freely? If so, please bring it to me right now. You know what? Why don't you take that same energy and go find a little job so you can buy your little Game Boy?" Okay, Constance. And even though her words were aggressive, she was true. So you know what, girl? Challenge accepted. The hunt was on. The only problem was I was 15 and no one would hire me unless I was 16. I was at a standstill. Fast forward to 2 weeks later, I'm joining my mother at her weekly Jamaican posse gang meeting. Okay, I know you're probably wondering, what is a Jamaican posse gang? Pretty much, it's just like a group of old black people getting together, getting drunk, talking shit, and riding horses, okay? And only one of the people in there was actually Jamaican, so it was a mess. I never normally went to these meetings because the other kids were really annoying and they were really boring as well. My mother actually joined that gang previously in that last year when she bought a horse that I went on to name Diego, which I thought was a cool name at the time, but later went to explain my love for Latin men. Hey. And so at this meeting, one of the members of the somewhat Jamaican posse gang approached me and says, "Hey, ain't you Constance's boy? She told me you was looking for some work." And he said that he would employ me to work on his farm, help his horses for $20 a week. Ding, 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 my prayers were answered, okay? And so I started at the farm the following week, and then 2 weeks later, that was when I realized I really hated it. Oh my God. That was when I knew that manual labor was not made for me, okay? I was too cute and bougie to be working on that farm for raggedy $20 a week. But it wasn't all bad though. I made really good friends with the horses. They were honestly my best friends at the time, and they're everything that you would want in a friend. Someone that just sits there and listens to all your problems and dare not say anything back, okay? There was one horse, however, that wasn't as social as the others. We never really named him, so I nicknamed him Black Beauty, after myself, of course. And he was always separated from the other horses, and I always asked the farm owner why, and he just said, "Oh, he's aggressive and he doesn't get along well with the other horses, so we keep him separated." And I'm just like, what is going on? Did he eat some of their food? Did he sleep with one of their girlfriends? I'm just like, what did this horse do? But I was optimistic. So one night I volunteered to go feed Black Beauty his hay bale, and the farm owner was like, "Sure, okay. I know you're probably wondering, why would you put yourself in that predicament? Look, I knew I was overdue for promotion, okay? I was working hard as hell. And I thought that if I destroyed the reputation that Black Beauty was a total bitch, I would have more leverage to ask for more money each week. Always and forever a businessman, okay? And so that night I went to go feed Black Beauty his bale of hay. I leave her directly in his acre of land that he had to himself. And I'm walking back and I'm just like, that guy was so dramatic. Oh my God, Black Beauty wouldn't hurt a fly. And so then I see in the distance the farm owner waving his hands at me like a come here type motion. I couldn't hear what he said, so I ignored him. But then I hear from behind me a sort of galloping sound that's starting to get a little bit faster. And then I turn around just a little bit to see that Black Beauty has begun charging towards me. Oh shit! I am running, so much is going through my head. I'm just like, oh my God, why is he chasing me? Oh my God, my life is flashing from my eyes. I'm weeping at the fact that I might never have that dramatic gay coming out scene that every little gay boy dreams of. I am just running and going. And so then I finally get to the gate and I turn around to try to close it, and I see in my peripheral vision that Black Beauty has caught up to me. Okay? So then in one final rush of desperation, I grab that gate and sling it right around me. And in that moment, Black Beauty lunges his big, huge face towards my arm as I fall dramatically to the ground. Very Mariah Carey-esque, but more fabulous. So as I get up off the ground, so much is going through my head. I'm just like, why would this horse attack me? What was going on? Was the hay not gluten-free? Like, I was just like, what is going on? And so then my mother pulls up at this time, and she sees everything from her car, and she runs out to check if I'm okay. And then I see her stop in her tracks, and she looks down at my left arm and utters a subtle, ah! And then I meet her gaze down at my left arm, and I utter a much louder, ah! My arm was covered in blood, okay? So then we immediately rush to the ER, and my mother is going off. She's going off on everyone in the ER. My baby's been hit by a horse. Oh my God, he's been bit. Somebody help him. Disregarding everybody else in the ER. There was some other girl with her broken arm, and she's like, she broke her arm. We know how to fix it. How do you fix a horse bite? Just a mess. And so as we're being seated by the hospital staff, my mother decides to have an impromptu photo shoot for the wounds because she's quote going to sue the hell out of the farm owner. And even though I was adrenaline and all these things were going through my head, I'm gay as hell. So I'm not gonna pass up a photo op, okay? So I am just giving it. I am just posing, giving looks over the shoulder. Yes, I'm on America's Next Top Model, y'all. All I can hear is, will it be on top? Which is a question I have to answer later in my life. And it was. And so they eventually did settle out of court because he knew he was wrong. And because the hospital bills were paid for, a large portion went to the Shawn College Fund, okay? He's educated. A good amount went to my mother, and then there was just enough left over to buy your lone survivor the one thing he always wanted. A Sapphire Nintendo DS and the matching Pokemon game, okay? Thank you very much, everyone.